Okay, so you haven't lived until you've taken a gas tank out of a 82 to 92 Camaro. Whew, what a job. So as you can see, got the rest of the parts down, unbolted the shocks, lowered the rear end, took off the exhaust. Luckily it all unbolted very nicely, as I mentioned in the other video. I had a hang up where I couldn't get the rear end down low enough and to give me more clearance, and then I got onto a video from this other guy, and he talked about undoing the brake line, mounting to the body, and that was it. I mean, I was stuck. I could not get the thing out otherwise. As soon as I did that, I was able to drop it about 6 inches, and then blam, just like that it came out. So yeah, so success. And yeah, factory Philistines are there, so that's good. Looking at those, I clean those up. And just for the sake of safety, I pulled the tank out in the driveway, and I'm gonna start taking it apart. I think I'm gonna throw some water on the top while I take this seal off, just to make sure there's no sparks. And yeah, there's still a bit of gas in there, but I've already siphoned out a lot of it, so I'll get the rest of it out. Hopefully the tank isn't too bad inside. Somebody has taken this out before because there was 2 different bolts holding the straps up, and I did notice on the connector as well too, it had been coated with undercoating, but somebody had taken the undercoating off enough already. Since we're putting a new sending unit in, that's going to get thrown away anyways. I don't think we use this. Maybe we do because it plugs in here. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't opened up the box yet. So, other than that, it's going to be great to get rid of this stinky gas.
Hey, though. You see any water down there?
And, this is kind of a baffle. Oh, that's the filler. Where it comes in.
There might be, there's orange water I think in there.
That orange water is bad gas, son.
Yep. Whatever. Get out of here. Get out of here right now. Get out of here right now, old Jess.
We got the tank out from the last video. We got the actual old pump and assembly out. It's pretty tired, as we kind of showed from the last one. Here's the new Spectra Premium hanger assembly, and I did kind of a thing where I bought an AC Delco original pump and strainer. I'm big and partial to the Bosch stuff because it's a turbine design pump. It's better design over original, and so just to give you kind of an idea, here's the original AC Delco pump. It already kind of makes some noise, so that kind of tells you it's a different design. This is made in Brazil. Here's the Bosch one, solid, very well built and designed. These actually came back in stock because I thought they were obsolete, so that's a good thing. So I've got all kinds of parts. There's kind of a universal application for the Bosch. They gave me all kinds of extra pieces. The strainer assemblies are different as well too, where the AC Delco is exactly like the original. The Bosch is more of a flattened design. I don't think it's really going to matter as long as it picks up and filters the gas. And I've got just about everything else ready to assemble back. Spectra actually gave me a package full of parts as well too, which looks like a similar strainer as well too. So I've got like parts galore as far as extra fuel pump material to build with. So I guess lots of spares. The assembly seems pretty well built. It actually has the right sending unit on it. That I think is better than the stock one. And if you look at the stock assembly, it's definitely the ladder design. I think it's got an aftermarket pump on it. It's interesting to me how this thing just kind of sits here kind of loose. And I guess this is a pulsator, as one of the guys on the boards was telling me about, and it's supposed to protect vibrations in the line and the noise of the pump, I guess. So But yeah, so you can see there's a little bit different design on this. And then I kind of noticed that this was sticking a bit, and now it's moving more freely, but when I first pulled it out of the tank, it was kind of stuck and pegged, so it could just be well worn, and that's why it had some corrosion on it, but now it seems to be floating okay. Either way, I got the new assembly. It makes sense to replace it out rather than you don't know what's going on here. And I did read some other things about people taking this apart and trying to clean it, but I don't want to risk putting the whole tank back in and then all of a sudden this not working, so I'm just going to go with the Spectra, the new one. The other thing is these hoses are kind of old. They seem a bit stiff and brittle, so I'm kind of on the fence as if I should replace them or not since I got it out, just because it's, you know, 30-plus-year-old rubber parts. But so yeah, so that's where we're at the tank. I ordered a couple of hanger bolts. One of the hanger bolts, as I said from the last video, was the wrong size, so those are coming from South Carolina. I talked with a gentleman there. He was really helpful as well. I did order some extra, the same sway-bar end links that I had for the front. These are what was in there. I don't think they're original. I think somebody probably replaced them, but they're rubber, and you know, they've already been formed to where they were in place. So these are really cheap. They're like $5 with shipping, $10 total. So I'll put 2 new ones in the back on that as well. Moving around to the front of the car, a little bit more progress on that. I did get this air pipe assembly back in place. Then I went to go put this vent assembly on, and clearly I've got the wrong part model. So there's a different diameter for that. I wish I could get that chunk out of there, but it'd take an act of God to try to do that. So I'm going to try and take that part number and see if I can locate another one of these and see if I can return this to that gentleman on eBay. So yeah, that's just about nipped up and ready to go back together. And then I got the transmission lines in place, inline tube, and that comes as an assembly that basically mounts up to the radiator. And as you can see here, this has got a longer edge on it and then a straight drop down. And then if you actually look on the vehicle itself, it's not at all near the same design, where this has a teardrop comes straight down and goes through. However, there is plenty of room for something to come up through here and go to that. So I've got to do a little bit more engineering to figure out if this assembly is going to work. And then the other part I've noticed is up on the transmission assembly, there's no way to get a wrench in there. So that can be increasing my toolbox, and I'm going to have to get some crow's foot wrenches that basically come on this with an extension to be able to ratchet them off there at an angle. So I've always thought it'd be great to have a set of crow's foot wrenches in the toolbox, but haven't gotten them, ever had a use for them. So here's the inline tube. They got some email where you basically send them pictures, photos. So I'm going to try to snap some photos of that, send them along and see, just to make sure it's the right application for the car. It does say that it fits a Camaro 82 to 86. This is the 85 with a T100 or a T400 transmission. So sounds like the right one, but we'll have to see if that goes or not. So so that's kind of some of the challenges you run into when you're working on these, is that a lot of these parts are no longer available. You're talking about, you know, 1985, right? And so GM's discontinued a lot of the production of these parts. So it's a lot of these aftermarket manufacturers, or they sell some of their original designs for somebody to go remanufacture those parts. So yeah, so it's you're kind of engineering, you're kind of buying, selling, trying to figure out exactly what fits. And if you've got a certain level of quality like myself, I like to try to keep things as original as possible, and look for the highest quality parts you can get. So so that's the recap where I'm at, and making progress and getting parts as they come in. I had 3 delivery guys come by today, and all of them said nice Camaro, so that's good to hear. I got some fans. stay tuned and subscribe if you like, and we'll keep posting more videos up about the Camaro. See you.